everybody, and welcome to this morning's edition of Coffee Talk. And our special guest host today is Elisa Herrera-Wright. Elisa is not only one of my good, wonderful, best buddies in the whole world, but she's also a very experienced QHHT practitioner. She has studied and worked with Dolores Cannon's principles for a while, and we're excited to have her today, and just as excited and thrilled to have the wonderful Dolores Cannon with us. Me too, from home. Shut off.
I love it.
Was that funny? So Dolores and I are discussing theme songs because the first thing I thought was Star Wars, and she's like, there are no wars up here. I don't want them to think there are wars. Pick something else. And she was like, E.T. I'm all about the E.T. So that's how I picked her theme song.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
So we should bring in our viewer question for today for Dolores. And it's Leslie Rodriguez. Leslie, if I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. Just take a minute here. Okay. There she is. Hey.
This is my first time using Skype.
Oh, it's okay.
Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. I'm so honored.
Thank you for being a part of it. And please say your last name for me, because I'm sure I didn't say it right.
Rodrigue.
I'm sure didn't. All right. Well, we'd like to introduce our viewer, Leslie. Say your name.
Rodrigue.
Sorry, Leslie. For our viewer question of the day for Dolores Cannon. And first, we'd like to say thank you for showing up, Leslie, and she's ready for your question.
Okay, I have several, but I'll narrow it down. Can she discuss a little bit about twin flames and what's the spiritual mission for twin flames?
Twin flames are a way of teaching ourselves all about life. And when I say teaching ourselves about life, what I'm saying is that we have that spark that comes off, and everybody hears of the dark side of us or the shadow side. Well, to experience everything and to have source energy know its own greatness, it has to know its own opposite of greatness. And that's what the twin flame also does for us here on Earth. You can call it twin flame, you can call it soulmate. It doesn't need to be a romantic partner. It can be a brother, a sister, a friend, just somebody that you've agreed to come back in multiple incarnations to learn all the lessons.
Okay.
They can, by the way, she say, be romantic, but it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Okay. Can I ask some more questions?
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay. During her QHHT sessions in her books, she spoke to a lot of ETs. I'm wondering did they come to her after she crossed over?
She said it was a huge party when I crossed over, and it looked... Do you guys remember that scene from Star Wars when they went into the bar and they had like the Wookiee and all the crazy things with the crazy music playing? But there was all kinds of odd beings around, not just humans. That's what she just showed me, what happened when she crossed over. It was like a big old bar scene from Star Wars, she said.
That's so cool.
Also, in some of the QHHT sessions, the higher self can do a scan to see if there's any attachments.
Mm-hmm.
How can we get rid ourselves of those? Is that possible?
Absolutely, positively, Leslie. Let me just point out to everybody in the viewing audiences, your experience will reflect what you think. So if you think you have an attachment, well then shit, yeah, you have an attachment. Are they for real? Well, if it's for real in your mind, it's most absolutely for real for you. Once you realize that your energy is your own and you have the power to control everything, you'll understand that there really are no such thing as attachments. It's whatever you allow into your energy field.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How are the 3 waves of volunteers doing? And does each wave have a spiritual mission?
Everything that happens here on earth has a spiritual mission, bar none. It's an experience, it's a contract. Our 3 waves of volunteers are doing beautifully. Everything is falling into place as it should and as it has been planned and designed. You'll see a lot more coming in the next few years of volunteers with the new children that are being born and have been born in the last decade.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I ask one more question?
Go for it.
I've been told by a psychic that I'm starseed, and my grandmother came through saying that our family has been studied by ETs for generations. How common is this?
It's very common. There are so many limitless galactic entities that are curious and want to experience what we have here on Earth. She's showing me a purple being for you. It's the first time I've ever seen a purple entity, galactic being.
Wow.
And I'm asking, I'm kind of like, who are they? Where are they from? Do they have names?
Purple's my favorite color.
Me too. I don't recognize it. Of course, I'm not going to, but she says the planet's name is more of a tone than a name.
Hopefully it's a nice purple being.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So your roots, your galactic roots, are out of curiosity and the want to learn and to purvey that information to all beings. So everything that's involved with you, with your galactic background and what has happened in your family, is for the advancement. I can't say of galactic beings or human beings. It's for the advancement of all beings,
Okay.
is what they said.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. It was very nice to have you this morning, Leslie.
Very nice to speak to you, and Miss Dolores, thank you so much.
Thank you. Great questions, by
Good
the way.
questions, yes. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Leslie.
Bye.
All right, so Lisa, Dolores is ready. We're all familiar with Dolores. It's not the first time that I've channeled Dolores, and it's not the first time Elisa is asking her questions. So without further ado, let's have your questions.
I am so excited to be talking to you, Dolores. This is, I just, for somebody that studied you and just was able to read your books, and it's just, I love you to death. I know you're with me when I do the QHHT sessions. I know you're there. I try to listen as much as I can, and I want you to know that I just love you. And thank you for being with me during those sessions. It helps immensely. So before I ask you my questions, I will ask you a couple of questions that came from the forum or from the page. This one came from Sarah Kujawa. She said, we learned so much about extraterrestrial life through your writings. Can you share something interesting with us now that you have mingled with ETs?
Hi, Sarah. Okay. She had a pick from a couple of them. I could see her kind of figuring out which was which. And she said the most surprising thing and the thing for her about communing with ETs from a human perspective It was very interesting to see how they communicate and operate on a non-emotional level. Everybody in the humankind wants to put human emotions, feelings, thoughts, and associate that with galactic beings. But I'm sitting here telling you, she is, that, sorry, Dolores. They have no emotions. They're very simplistic. Their thought processes are mathematical, logical, from every standpoint, but not emotional. So what she's saying is, I want you all to know that this contract you made to come here, to be on Earth, was your choice to experience emotional things, because you can't get the same kind of emotional things anywhere else but Earth.
Oh, that answered my question. I was going to ask you if only on Earth is where we have, you know, the emotion. Answer that question. Very interesting. The other question Sarah had, she says, we miss you chatting with us on stage from your easy chair. Anything thought-provoking that you can share with us from your perspective now?
Okay. So her thought-provoking message from the other side, with reference to life here on Earth, have fucking fun. It's about fun. Stop working so much. Put your phones down. Take a walk outside and experience what you came here on Earth to experience. Nature, emotions, feelings. There's nothing to push back on. Here. Do your pushing while you're there.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Love it. The next question is from Bridget Macho. Have you got any messages for me, Miss Cannon? I love watching Alba Weinman videos during your QHHT sessions.
Keep up watching the videos. You have a big potential to do the QHHT yourself. I know that you've had interest and it just draws you in. Please understand that it's drawing you in for a very specific purpose. That purpose is to help people. You've got this. If you feel a burning in your soul to do QHHT, do it, and do it right away. She's talking about how you have a huge potential to help a lot of people, and this will all come naturally to you once you take her courses. And there you go.
Excellent. Excellent. Trust me, they're amazing. Even if you don't end up doing it, you learn so much. So the next question is from Elizabeth Ravenhurst. You look like my mom. Do they know each other in the afterlife? Her name is Hilda.
So she says, of course we know each other in the afterlife. There is no such thing as separation. You know, that's an illusion that you go to Earth to experience, so that you know what it's like to be part of the all and the full experience of being part of the all, because we all know you have to experience one to experience the other. Your mom and I chat quite a bit, and we sit and have tea together. We're kindred spirits, and it was no accident that we looked alike. We shared other lifetimes.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting.
And in the last lifetime, really, that's so cool. In the last time, they were twins.
No way.
She says, yes way. The last time, that's why we look so much in this lifetime alike.
Oh my gosh. And no wonder that question got through. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I love how the universe works.
I know.
That's fantastic.
She's like, me too. It's so cool.
Love it. The next question is from Noelle Draw. What does she consider her most important work/book? What is the most important thing to learn from past life regression and how to move on from the information.
Past life regression offers you an understanding of why you feel stuck in this lifetime on a specific lesson. Not only does it offer you that, it also offers you the lesson that you can heal yourself. It offers so many things of the universe to you in this physicality, many things that you can't even comprehend. It's quite important when you're at a point where you've tried everything else. Medical, emotional therapy, and when you still can't get past it is when I tell you to go to the QHHT therapist. It can be life-changing. And what was the first part of Noelle's question?
What does she consider her most important work or book? And it's funny because I had that same question on my question.
So, well, what she said about that, she said it's like having, 15 children. You don't have a favorite. You can't have a favorite because they're all your babies. And are they, each and every one are as important as the next one. But which was my favorite to write? That would be the volunteers, the 3 waves of volunteers.
Excellent. Thank you. The other question Noelle had, what is one truth we're missing that we need to know?
She says, you all know this. You all know this. You want to deny it because you don't like your own truth at times. We're all one. There is no right or wrong. You're doing it right. It's not about doing it right. It's about getting to the end of your contract and fully realizing your lesson and the capacity to help humankind and spirit kind alike. But everybody wants to deny that we're all one. We're all one. That is the biggest thing. There is no secret. There's no secret. When everybody realizes that, we'll treat each other better and there won't be war. We'll work together.
It's a very good reminder, for sure.
Yeah, she says you think we got sent here without the knowledge, without the help? Do you think a good and loving God would send you here to this plane with this shit and go, good luck with that? That's not how it works. We're all one. We're all one.
Thank you.
We're here.
Thank you so much. Shannon Griffin wrote, what was the trigger for you to begin to explore the metaphysical? Thank you so much for everything.
She says that there's a whole lot of things leading up to her exploration. She said, from the time I was little, I wanted to know more and more. And I could experience things and I felt things that the norm wouldn't. I was open to energy. And then I started to experience things through my dreams. Like, nothing profound. Like there is a guide and he's sitting next to you. But little inclinations. I would get galactic dreams. I would get visitations that I thought were dreams. And that all opened up for me. The curiosity to know that there's got to be more. And everything, when they tell you that the universe has everything planned, that's absolutely correct. Because the universe placed in my path all the people that I needed to experience here, what I needed to, so I could teach everybody. So I say thank you to the universe. I tell everybody to trust the universe, that it really does have your back, and go with the flow. It'll all come. Everything that's supposed to be there will come. This curiosity, passion, curiosity. Call it the same thing. Follow that passion. Follow that curiosity. That's what I did. And look how it turned out.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Shannon and Dolores. And the last set of questions are coming from Becky Norton. She asked, how did your concepts regarding the afterlife change after you crossed?
They didn't change quite at all, as a matter of fact. They were enhanced. Because in our humanness, we're limited to what our brain will tell us.
Right.
When you're in this vibration, you realize you are limitless. And there's so much more. She just showed me like her mind being blown when she got to the other side, because it was what? She's going off. Fabulous, wonderful, incredible, everything you could even imagine and more. It was quite an awakening, and I thought I knew it all.
That's fantastic. And you know, it's funny, when that question was asked, in my mind, what it came was that you are just going crazy, just asking all these questions, and now you're just like, really asking and researching, and so you're probably in heaven.
We do not ask questions here. We do not need to. We assimilate information.
Right, right. So you must be assimilating a lot then.
Well, she says it's amazing to be able to tap into anything that you want.
Want to know, right? Anything you want to know. That's incredible.
Well, she just told me that we have that ability as well, and I'm like, oh crap, you need to teach me this.
Yes,
Right?
for sure. Maybe that should be another session.
Yep, that sounds good. She said she's willing.
Oh, heck yeah. That would be awesome. I'm all over that.
Yeah.
The next question. Was there any part of your work that was inaccurate?
Oh my gosh, she is laughing and hitting her knee, like, oh, of course. It wasn't meant to be inaccurate, but there aren't any textbooks here. There isn't anything that says, oh, galactic being blue must be Arcturian. There is nothing like that in my work, and accuracy is a point of view, she says. What was accurate, that was accurate while they were telling that to us, because it was what their experience was. Was it what had actually happened word for word? Who cares?
Wow.
Yeah.
She's asking, may we call on you for assistance? If so, with what? I'm not sure what that means, but.
She says that she's always available for assistance. She helps Elisa in her QHHT sessions. What was that last part of the question?
If so, with what? I'm not sure what that means.
Okay. So here she's talking about being confused about how to feel energy. If so, what indicates that you don't know how to feel energy, she says. You know how, you just forgot. Let me tell you that once you call on me, the first thought that comes to your head, the first feeling, that's me. Stop self-doubting, stop overthinking. This is how I communicate. You go with your gut, your instinct. The first thing that came, and that's me. I am telling you, once you start doubting and you start overthinking is when you start to mess up. Because then it's your humanness taking over rather than allowing spirit to come through, which is what essentially QHHT is. Realizing that spirit can come through to heal everything and anything.
Yeah.
So feel me, hear me, don't doubt me. That's how. If you think your hand heats up and that's where I'm at, well then you're right. If you think that you feel the energy flowing through you to heal, then you're right. I'm just telling you to feel. I communicate differently as spirits do. Feel.
Excellent. Thank you, Dolores. And her last question was, which of your other lives most influenced your life as Dolores Cannon?
All right. Well, she's saying there was many that brought me to this incarnation because it was a culmination for my spirit, my spark, to specifically help with this knowledge. I would normally say that my galactic life was the one that would have influenced me the most for this particular lifetime so that I could be the conduit of understanding. However, that's not accurate. What is accurate is that every single lifetime that I have had has led up to this point. I've learned how to teach in other lifetimes. I've learned how to communicate in different ways in other lifetimes. Every single thing brought me to this experience. And I just asked her, I said, will that mean you're not coming back? Right? And she said, for a lack of better term, because there are no labels here and there are no differences, but for what Earth people can understand, I would be considered an ascended master.
Oh, wow.
From all these lifetimes and all this experience leading up to the teaching of this to get us to the point where we need to be. So she would say that that would be, the human equivalent
Wow.
of the culmination of every one of those lifetimes. She's rather
Okay.
proud of that too. Go girl.
So that was one of my questions, was if she was planning on reincarnating.
Not right now. Do you know what? She's telling me that she doesn't feel the need to reincarnate because so many people like yourself are continuing and furthering her work. And she says, I couldn't be any more proud of my daughter.
Oh my gosh.
She said she has taken on everything, and she is truly my twin soul.
Yes, she has been doing an incredible job of continuing the legacy. And she's just incredible. Not only that she has the ability to continue what you left, but she is an amazing human being as well. Just the sweetest woman. I really, one of the sweetest I've met.
Thank you very much for what you said about her daughter, the kind, sweet words. And she puts her hands over her hearts. Thank you. I'm so proud of her, is what she said.
Yeah, you did a wonderful job raising her. She's just amazing. Amazing. And talking about Julia, Julia wrote a book called Soul Speak. And for those of you who don't know what that is a book where she and Dolores work together. And in Soul Speak, basically, is an entire book based on Dolores's findings of what causes what. So, for example, I'll give you, what causes cancer? Okay, holding onto anger. Mm-hmm. Is, this is like years and years of findings that every time they would ask the subconscious, what caused that cancer? Holding on to anger. Mm-hmm. So it's a book that tells you like what caused my diabetes, what's causing my hip to hurt. I mean, everything in there is just, laid out. And one of the questions I had was, they keep saying that cancer can be caused by drinking too much aspartame when you're drinking diet sodas or other environmental factors. So I was wondering if there has been times when the answer is not always holding on to anger, it's been, it was because she drank too much, or she, or she was in a bad area like China, there's a lot of pollution, so is that something that it could be one or the other, or?
It works as a combination of the two, okay? So you come to this experience with this body that's essentially imperfect because it is susceptible and predisposed to certain conditions. So while, yes, holding on to anger causes cancer, I will not deny that at any level, but I'll also say that it is not the only cause of cancer. Very many environmental factors have been working um, pollution, poisons in the water, the air, everything. That all has an effect on the DNA structure of the human body. So while holding on to anger sucks on a whole lot of levels, can cause cancer, doesn't essentially mean that it does for everybody. There are other components. So if you're already predisposed because of your genetics, the anger is going to further along in a more hurriedly path, that cancer.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they work together. It's not one doesn't always cause the other. Holding on to anger doesn't always cause cancer. The same way, genetic, environmental factors don't always cause cancer. Some people are okay to deal with that, and some people aren't. And then when you get the two combined, is really when you have the heavy human times.
Okay. Okay. My next question was, during a session, I don't know if everybody knows what QHHT is, but basically, very simply, it is not only past life regression, it is a 2 or 3 hours interview of the person's lifetime, from childhood, from they were born to now, then past life regression, which is only done to then get to the subconscious level, which is when the subconscious comes through and speaks through the person. And my question was, during a session when the subconscious does through, meaning the person isn't at that deep level, so what we call is like the person's like, no, it's just me talking, there's no subconscious kind of thing. Does the healing still happen for the person?
Well, what she's talking about is that the healing absolutely has the potential, whether the person isn't at that deep subconscious level or not. It's a matter of whether the spirit is willing to allow that healing. The problem comes in when they are not at that deep subconscious level, because somewhere in their psyche, in their consciousness, they do not believe that the QHHT will work.
Okay, so how do we help or aid in that belief?
Can anybody make you think that Donald Trump isn't the biggest asshole that ever walked the face of the earth? No, right? I mean, no. That's just the way it is. We feel how we feel about certain things, and experiences in our life come to change those feelings on things. Same thing with the people that don't want to go all the way under. You can't make them by saying anything. That's something they have to release and let go in their own subconscious. The problem is that they cannot release, and that's why they won't go all the way under.
So that is my next question, and thank you for bringing that up, but I've had 4 sessions and I still have not been able to go under. I believe in QHHT fully. I absolutely know it works. I've seen it, I've lived it, but yet I'm not able to go under. So what gives?
You don't believe in yourself, is what she just said. Okay. She says, all this hoo-hoo, woo-woo, voodoo only works when you not only believe in the principles and the concepts, but when you believe in yourself. Because let's talk about trying to do anything in this lifetime and not being anchored in your own belief. If you're not anchored in your own belief, then you're going to have problems presenting and accepting.
Okay.
So the work needs to be done internally Self-love is huge. She says that that's where the belief in yourself stems from. And when we have traumatic events happen as a child, it leaves this big pothole in our belief system. And until we can fix that pothole, our belief system will always need some work. Okay. When you fill that pothole, you want to fill it with all the accomplishments that you've done since that traumatic event. I'm a great mother, a great worker, I'm a great person. No matter what made me feel like this is irrelevant. And that's how you fill that pothole so that you can get past that.
Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know how to fix it. I appreciate it. You know, I'm all about fixing stuff. So I'm an engineer. So yes, thank you. How does surrogate healing work? In surrogate healing, for those of you that don't know, is when you are doing a session, that person is able to ask for healing for someone else, like their daughter or their neighbor or somebody that they know. And believe it or not, it works. So I want to know, how does it work?
Well, we're going to go back to the concept that we are all one, right? There is no separation, truthfully. We're all one vibration. So when you spark off into this incarnation, you're still one. Not that you can't feel it. So when you're asking source energy to heal anything, whether it be in the same room or on another planet, another lifetime, well, you keep in the knowledge that we're all one and all the same. You can pass on that healing just by the intention.
Wow.
And that's how it works. You're not any different. You're the same as the person you're asking for that healing for. So by accepting that, you're also healing them.
Wow. That's so, just powerful, so powerful. What changes can I make as a practitioner to make my sessions more productive for maximum healing? And this goes out for all practitioners,
Okay.
not just me, of course.
Yeah, and she is talking about the best way to help heal anybody, as you know, is to get to the root cause of the problem. And part of that problem is that the people you're encountering don't know the root cause of their issue. Using your intuition, your questioning, and all the skills that you have obtained in regressing and healing people. I'm sorry. She keeps talking. I forgot the question. She's laughing at me now because she says, keep up. I can't keep up. Sorry.
What changes can I make as a practitioner for maximum healing?
Thank you. To help the person find the root cause is the real problem. And many times it's emotional. As you know, emotional from another lifetime. Some emotional thing that they can't get past. And it's too painful for them to even break down to figure out what that is. So to help them further and to help heal even better, when you realize what that problem is, that root cause, it's your job to very gently lead them to it, take them through the experience, and help them release. But be gentle, because they're not going to want to address the emotional things.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll look for your guidance on that. I'm not necessarily the most gentle person, so
She says
I'll make
anytime,
sure I'm
sister.
listening to you.
What's your problem? Say it.
Okay, great. Has she been abducted? Was she ever abducted? I mean, I know she had such a close relationship with ETs that I'm just wondering if she herself was abducted.
She says, yes, that was an introduction as a child. I was abducted.
Oh.
And they assimilated a lot of this information to me at that time. And they prepared me to converse and communicate with different galactic beings. And that's really what prepared me to come into what I was supposed to do.
Oh, wow.
I just asked her if she was abducted after that, and she said no, because there was no need to. I could communicate.
Right.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, she was communicating every day with them at that point. Yeah, for sure. Have I ever been abducted? Just wondering.
No, you're another one that has no need for it because of your galactic background.
Okay.
You got that blue thing going on again.
Really?
And so Lisa has galactic background. I've seen it many times, and she appears to be blue like the Avatar lady, with two holes for a nose, and her skin appears to be almost like scales, but very smart, very tuned in, and that was part of her background. Probably why, yeah, thanks Dolores. And she goes, yeah, it was, not probably, but why you were so interested and are so interested in her work.
Yeah, always loved it. What are you working on now? I know you've been working very hard over there.
Well, I don't call it work, actually, over here. It's such a joy. You don't even feel like you're doing anything. And
Right.
when you help so many people, it's amazing. So I'm with all you QHHT people that call on me. I'm with my daughter. But mostly what I want to tell you about my work from this side is the work with the crystal children, the indigos, the rainbows, that I guide them from this side to an awareness of not only their job here, but how they can be an intermediary between galactic beings and human beings. I'm working with them with crystals to impart the knowledge of how to use those to your benefit as a clean source of energy.
Wow.
And that's her favorite work, she says. Not that I have a favorite, but if I had a favorite, it would be the kids. Yeah, and she talks real fast about this. She's really excited about working with the kids. Yep.
It sounds like amazing work, for sure.
Yeah, she says it's great work. You're going to love to see what's coming up.
What are you most proud of?
My daughter, bar none. Wasn't even, no hesitation, not a thought. My daughter,
Wow.
bar none.
Understandable. She's amazing. This is kind of more of a personal question. I am struggling with moving from a corporate career to doing this full time. It's not like the phone is ringing off the hook, which is one of the reasons why, you know, to make the move is so scary. So how do I make my move to go from having a corporate career and then doing this full time if the phone isn't ringing off the hook?
She says you get what you focus on. So if you're not focusing on the QHHT and getting your name out there and advertising or doing a little bit, that you'll stay stuck in this corporate world, and that you're walking this tightrope because of fear, like everybody. She says don't feel like singled out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's others going through the same thing, and that's why I asked the question.
Stop pointing at me. Thank you. She's like,
Yeah.
Okay, and here's what she's telling me, and I don't think it's kind of fair because I know you so well, but I'm going to tell you what I hear. She says that part of this lesson for you is to get over your lack of confidence because you won't make the jump because you're afraid that you won't have enough money to live on. And while that's a viable thought, you're focusing on that rather than focusing on advertising and promoting your new business. So once you start to focus on the QHHT and thinking of different marketing ways, get with Holly, she's amazing. Then your focus and everything will start to shift. So she says less fear. You have to go with the fuck it concept. Just say fuck it and go with it. But she says because of who you are, stay with the corporate world a little longer so you can feel confident when you do that. Because if you make the jump and you go fuck it too soon, you'll lose your mind.
That's why my concern is.
Yeah.
My biggest concern is that.
Well, yeah, I hear you. And what she said is that stop being confused about your gut. Go with your gut. Okay? She says because you vacillate back and forth because of uncertainty. And she says once you make a decision and run with it, you'll feel a lot better. But focus on what you want.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Question about light language. And when we hear people doing light language, is that ET through to us in their language? Or because I've heard some of the languages sound different. And so I don't know if we should consider all of those light languages, or is there one main light language, which is two, and then the ET languages? So what are all these light languages that we hear that are coming in?
She says, I really would love for everybody to stop overthinking because you're overthinking it. Light language is the combination of every language that the soul understands. There is only source. Let's just talk about there is only source energy and we're all one. So you can talk about galactic beings, Egyptians, humans, seals. It doesn't make a difference. We're all one, right? So if a galactic being is speaking their language and it's coming through, that portion of the message to whomever's supposed to read it, that part of their soul needs to hear that message in that language. Why overthink it? Yeah, some of it's galactic, some of it's native, but it's all the same. It's all light language. You can consider anything like that speaking to one's soul. And your soul has absolutely no set language at all. It will accept what it needs to accept in here.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's fantastic. I think that's all I had. The last question, of course, we leave to Eric. So what's Eric's question or questions?
He's sitting on her lap. And she's rather entertained by it.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Because it's like he's asking Santa a question. Okay, let me in on it, please. So he wants to know how much of the Jetsons is bullshit and how much of it is real.
Eric, oh my God, are you kidding me?
No. He goes, you wanted me to let you in on it? Like, okay, your question is your question, man. You get to ask whatever you want because you are the man. Um, and she's still laughing at him. She goes,
Unreal.
she just said, there is so much more truth to the Jetsons than anybody in this lifetime can understand.
Really?
Yep, the concepts, the travel. Eric
That's a
said he's cool
shocker.
with that.
That's a shocker.
Yeah.
To sound like a cartoon
Right.
is
She said it's the concepts that they used is very much true. Is very
wow.
much true. Well, if that's our last question for Coffee Talk tonight or today, we have Coffee Talk with Celestine Grace, Elisa Herrera Wright, Dolores Cannon, our special guest, and of course our man Eric Medhus. And for all of you that don't know who Eric Medhus is, he's personally a guide and one of my favorite loves most of the time, of all time.
When he behaves.
When he behaves and he doesn't show me things I don't need to see. But you can hear Eric's story on the Channeling Eric blog, and that's Eric with a K, Channeling Eric, ERIK.com. And it's a great story, and he helps lots of people. And I just like to give a shout out to Eric and his mama, Lisa Medhus, and thank them for everything. And Elisa Herrera Wright for her wonderful questions today. And don't forget to look her up for QHHT.
Yes, I'll give him the website real quick.
Okay.
It's Elisa H, as in hotel, Elisa H. Wright .wix site, WIX site, SITE.com / Heal the Past Therapy.
That's a mouthful.
Yes, and I'm sure I'll give it to Holly so it can be there at the end of the
On the end, yep.
the
And
video.
don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Celestine Grace. And thanks for sitting and listening in with Dolores Cannon on Coffee Talk for this morning's session. And sending love out to everybody. Hope I didn't forget anything. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Thank you. Thank you, Dolores.
Oh, she says thank you for the opportunity, and she always loves to talk to us. She just gave me a hug. I love her.
Oh, I love her.